If your mixed voice feels tight, weak, or just feels like it doesn't work when you go higher, it's probably because you're still pulling your chest voice. And if you don't fix that, your mixed voice is never going to be easy. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that with a few exercises that teach you how to use your mixed voice the right way. Most singers think they're in mixed voice, but if they're experiencing issues with it, it's actually because they're in a lighter version of their chest voice, just pulled up higher. It feels kind of heavy and it feels stuck, like it hits a ceiling, and it doesn't go up in pitch very easy. Real mixed voice feels easy, or at least easier than pulled up chest voice. We need to retrain how your voice is coordinating. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this step by step. Each exercise builds upon the last one. So if this is something you've been struggling with, you're going to want to watch this in its entirety. All right, so the first exercise I want to show you is called creak. Now, this is somewhat similar to vocal fry, but there is a difference of the creaky voice and vocal fry. So vocal fry is this like low pitch, you almost can't discern what pitch I'm singing. It just sounds like a low rumble. Creaky voice sounds like the vocal fry kind of, but it's a lighter version, and sometimes to me I feel like it's a headier version of vocal fry. And the thing with the creaky voice is you start to hear a pitch come in. It's very important that you do that and not try to go and like try to drag vocal fry up. It sounds like I'm burping, but I'm not. I'm doing vocal fry. But I want you to do creaky voice. Now, I'm a father of young children, and so I'm kind of a pro at this now because kids make crazy sounds all the time, and they're just amazing at this kind of stuff. So if you can just call upon your inner child and just play around with this, you'll probably get it. Don't overthink it. It's like a head voice vocal fry. Then we're going to put it on some scales. You see I'm following up the pitches there. You're not going like this. That's just staying in a vocal fry. You want and you can actually take this sound up quite high and it remain. You just play around with that silly sound. And what it's doing is it's teaching you how to have really, really good vocal cord closure with the interarytenoids and not false vocal cords or your pharynx squeezing and shoving everything together. No, we're using the muscles that are actually supposed to close the cords, also the lateral cricoarytenoids, that are giving you good vocal cord closure while giving into the stretching mechanism of the vocal cords, which is through the cricothyroid muscle. Those names don't matter that much. They matter to me, but for you as a singer, they don't matter all that much. What matters is that you go and you make this easy, creaky sound throughout your range. I'm telling you, this is such a game changer. Even just doing it right now, it makes my voice feel amazing. So I know it'll do the same for you if you do it the right way. You can't do a vocal fry and pull it up. You have to do the creaky voice. Okay, the next exercise is what I call the Caveman staccato. I think a lot of people are confused on how to do glottal onsets the right way. I don't think a lot of us, including myself, many years ago now, I thought glottal onsets were something other than what they actually were. So I used to think, like I was shoving my chords together each time on a glottal onset, but that's not actually what's happening. When you do a glottal onset, the chords come together first as if you're holding your breath gently, and then you make sound. When you make sound, the chords do not come together more than what they already are. In fact, they slightly separate from the position that they're in when you're holding your breath. So here's a motion I like to think of when I do glottals. So I'm closed and then I'm opening. Now, here's a little sequence though. This is why I call this the caveman, and you'll see why in a sec. If you start with the tiniest cough in the world, okay, so it's not this like forceful thing. It's a really, really gentle cough. Now you can slowly add some tone to that until you get a little pitch in there. That sounds like a caveman. So the caveman staccato. Then you gradually clear that staccato up. But you notice it's this, it's not, okay? Really important. If you do it the wrong way with the wrong visual, this exercise is not going to feel good, and it will just make you pull your chest voice up. If you do it this correct way, that's why I'm taking the time to explain this. I'm telling you, sometimes people on this channel are like, why does he talk so much? I can't just sit here and sing it to you. I mean, I guess I could, but that wouldn't be very helpful. You need to understand the purpose of why we're doing what we're doing. That's how it's going to help you. You can go, and then when you have that, you're taking that same action up. Let it go. And there's always going to be the people that are like, that's just head voice. Oh, is it really? So head voice would be this, and that's fine, but that's not what I'm doing actually. I'm just doing it so quick that, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on, but there's a clear, clean buzz when I do it. So it's not just head voice. That can result into a really full timbre if you do it that way. I don't actually want you to do that right now. I just wanted to show and prove a point that if you do this glottal thing the right way, the caveman staccato, and you're diligent with it and you do these exercises in this order, it can really help you find a huge voice up top. Okay, great. So we've laid out the groundwork so far with getting good vocal cord closure, letting our cords stretch in the right way throughout our range. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, I'm calling this tongue suck mum. And what that is, what I've noticed, especially on the mum mum exercise, which is a fantastic exercise for your mixed voice, but I notice for a lot of people, they start to depress and push their tongue down, especially if you were ever trained to do like a mum, 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 like a woofy sound like that. That's really not that helpful. I'm sorry to say. All you're doing is training your tongue to depress, and it just causes a whole host of problems when you do that. So if you can suck your tongue up to the roof of your mouth, I teach a couple of younger people, and one of them said, oh, like mewing. So if you know what mewing is, where you suck your tongue up to the roof of your mouth, okay, that's what we're doing. The whole tongue is up there, not just the tip, even the back of the tongue, as in an NG. Get the whole tongue up there, okay? Then what you're going to do is just take a nice breath in through your nose. You're going to feel your expansion here. Mum, 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 and then go to your mum, mum right after that. And usually the mum works really good. Now, mum, 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 mum. Mum, 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 mum. Expand here. Mum, 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 mum. This is not just belly breathing. This is real diaphragmatic breathing. In real diaphragmatic breathing, your diaphragm almost goes down. If you ever look at the MRI, it looks like this giant Hulk fist to me. And the ribs have to expand. The low ribs. You don't need to go like this. Like that. Okay, that sure, we're not trying to do that. But these ribs here and this part of the upper part of your stomach, this area needs to open up. It creates space. Well, really, the diaphragm is pushing down on it and creating space for your lungs and kind of compressing this area down here. So feel that. When you do the tongue suck and breathe into your nose, it kind of causes that. That's another reason I'm asking you to do it. Mum, 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 mum. 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 Mum, 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 mum. Mum, 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 mum. Now, I'm not holding back here, okay? I'm leaning in because I'm going for like a full out mixed voice. This is not a pulled up chest voice. Let me do one pulled up chest voice. I'm not going to do it that high because I won't be able to finish the rest of this video. Mum, 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 mum. Mum, 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 mum. So that's starting to go that direction. Yeah, I know I'm making it sound bad on purpose, of course. But like that might be happening to you. That used to happen to me. I remember as a kid, as a teenager, a long time ago now for me, I used to record myself singing and it would be in that range, E flat to F, whatever. And I would say, it sounds like I'm shouting. Like it didn't sound great. It just sounded like I was yelling. So if that's happening to you, you're pulling up your chest voice. And you need to go through these exercises and make sure you're doing them as correctly as you can. And it'll help fix that. Now, one last thing I want to show you, and this is funny, but it's a funny exercise, but it is an absolute game changer. And this is the closest thing to a foolproof mixed voice exercise that I have. It's ridiculous. So what you do is you're going to hum, and then you're going to take your finger and go, I'm just kind of, I'm not saying mum, but it sounds like I am. Now, I actually remember reading this in a Richard Miller book, this idea. And then I've just kind of evolved it over the years. So if you find when you're doing the mum with me right there, if you were still kind of shouting, or if you were doing like a mum, 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 and always mum, 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 always going to like too light of a place, keep doing the creak, keep doing the staccatos, but try this idea. That's really hard to do and play at the same time. Then you want your mum to feel the same. So if I'm doing this, you want the mum to feel identical. You want to track the same resonance, the same kind of feelings you're getting when you're doing the mum. And I'm telling you, it can be an absolute game changer, especially if you've struggled with this exercise in the past. Let's try it. Let's try what I just did. That's what this should feel like. No forcing, no dragging chest voice up, although this can be powerful, but it's easier and it floats. And that's really not something you stumble into. It's something you train. What I showed you here is the starting point. But if you actually want to be consistent with your mixed voice every time you sing, you need a structured way to train it. That's exactly what my everything bundle was built for. These are not just online courses. They're complete training programs designed to develop your voice step by step. In the everything bundle, you get Mixed Voice Masterclass and the 4 Laws of Vocal Technique. And together they give you a clear system on how to build your mixed voice step by step. It took me 20 years. It doesn't have to take you that long. So instead of guessing what to do next or trying to piece things together from random videos, we have so many videos on YouTube now, great ones, but instead now you will be following a progression that actually trains your voice to build this mixed voice. It's similar stuff to what we're doing here, but just taken much further and deeper. If you want your mixed voice to feel reliable, strong, and easy, then a structured training program is how you get it. I'll link that down below. And hey, just real quick, if this feels difficult, don't worry. That's normal. Learning to let go of your chest voice and trust your mixed voice, it's one of the hardest things for singers to figure out. But this is something you can train. If you stay consistent with it, your voice will learn how to do this. It's no different than going to the gym. At first, it feels awkward, you feel weak, and then it starts to click. So stick with it. You've got this. Hey, if you like this video and you got some value from it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe to my channel. If you're still with me at this point, let me just say, I've been on YouTube for over 8 years now, and sometimes I feel a little embarrassed that I'm not a little further along with my subscribers. And I check, and there are quite a few of you who watch my videos regularly, but are not subscribed. So if you could do me a favor, hit subscribe to my channel if I'm adding value to you. If what I'm doing is adding value to you as a singer, please hit subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it helps me greatly. Thanks so much.